Alright, budget magic time. Zombies in Amonkhet Standard. And, yeah, I mean, it's a zombie hand. I actually like this hand. I wish we had a 1-drop, but 2, 3, Midnight Oil seems reasonable. Courtyard for our opponent. Swamp Goo. Concealed Courtyard. Could be Mardu vehicles. Or like a black-white control deck. Let's just lead on Doomed Center. Relentless Dead, a little bit better if we play off curve, so we can get it back if our opponent kills it. Doomed Center, on the other hand, if you want to kill that, go for it. Ooh, Mastery's sweet. Well, let's get in with Doomed Center. And we'll just play Relentless Dead, pass the turn. We might just play off curve the rest of this game to leave up Relentless Dead mana. Might be overrating getting back Relentless Dead. Like, next turn, I mean, I think it's probably correct to play Lord of the Accursed next turn anyway over Midnight Oil. Opponent passes. Well, Swamp and... Yeah, let's just Plague Belcher. Aye. Should have attacked first. Leaving a point of damage on the battlefield. That's one of the sweet synergies that I like about this deck, and I didn't realize it in Zombies right away. But I think Doomed Center is necessary as a 2-drop, and the ability to play it on turn 2, Plague Belcher on turn 3, and just have this massive board is actually really good. Because Plague Belcher is a 5/4, and getting a zombie for your work is just super awesome. Alright, opponent has cast out. Goes after Relentless Dead. I mean, I guess over the long term, Relentless Dead is a problem. It just keeps coming back. But yeah, Plague Belcher's been way better than I expected. More Plague Belchers. We'll play the Swamp. Fumigate. Do we want to Mastery into Fumigate? Alright, let's just attack with both. See what our opponent does. Opponent takes it. Ooh, more cast outs? Opponent takes it. Alright. Now we'll just Midnight Oil. This is feeling like a black-white control deck, so I'm a little nervous about just overextending into Fumigate. Midnight Oil minimizes... We haven't been using our mana that efficiently, but Midnight Oil minimizes the potential of us just getting super blown out by a Wrath here. And a Wrath seems pretty likely, or definitely possible. We haven't seen much of our opponent's deck, but my guess is it's black-white control of some kind. Another Plains. Sorin, maybe? Or an Angel? Could be, like, black-white Angels. Alright, there's a Fumigate. Well, we were justified to play around it. Dread Wanderer, Doomed Center. Well, combo. We drew our combo. So, Dissenter, Plague Belcher, kill Dissenter. Oh, so good. Also, another nice trick about Plague Belcher is it equalizes the life gain from Fumigate. So, when we get Fumigated, the upside for our opponents of just gaining a ton of life and kind of like Sphinx's Revelation, putting the game somewhat out of reach, that is greatly diminished. Well, I guess it's Mastery time. Pump up our zombies. Go attacking. And our opponent pretty much needs another Fumigate here. We'll play Dreadwander. Combo with Midnight Oil. Pass the turn. Alright, there's another Fumigate. Opponent back down to 5, thanks to you, Plague Belcher. Opponent's down to 1 card. Another Lord. And a Swamp. We'll play the Swamp. Play a Lord. Keep the pressure on. Another Lord. Only 4 5s. 3 Lords. This is kind of like standard Merfolk, but with zombies. So I guess it would be standard zombies. But you know what I mean. There's a Sorin. Probably has to kill a Lord here. And we're drawing an extra card every turn thanks to Midnight Oil, which has been a surprisingly good addition to the deck. Yep, there goes our Lord. Opponent passes. Swamp and Doomed Center. We'll play the Swamp. Well, attack Sorin. Sorin down. Doomed Center. get back our Dread Wanderer, and pass the turn. Yep, hand size is now 0, so we have to discard every turn. But that's pretty fine with our deck, especially in matchups like this. We're not really playing at instant speed, so we're pretty fine just slamming everything we draw. Especially when the upside is drawing extra card. I think we're a Lord away from winning. Swamp and never to return. Well, play the Swamp. Attack with everything. It is a little unfortunate. Never is a card we wouldn't mind holding in hand. Thanks to our opponent's Planeswalkers. Kills our Dread Wanderer. Yeah, it saves them a bit of damage. Well, never our Doom Dissenter. Get a zombie. Opponent gains a life. Get back Dread Wanderer. Pass the turn. Alright, representing lethal once again. Opponent needs to draw something. Opponent passes. Yep. Grasp and Dread Wanderer. I mean, let's keep doing what we're doing. Swing with everything. If our opponent has an out, we try again next turn. Cast out. Yep, staying alive. Drops to 2. Play Dread Wanderer. Opponent goes back up to 3. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just discard Grasp. Pass the turn. 3 lethal threats. We didn't want to play another creature or make a creature because of authority. That would actually change the math a bit. So our opponent seems to be a control deck, which I think means we want cards like Transgress the Mind, the other Midnight Oil, and maybe the Never to Returns, and go down like Dark Salvation, Grasp of Darkness. We didn't get to see much of our opponent's deck, but it didn't seem to be a creature-heavy list. We need one more cut. I guess we'll just go down a Doom Dissenter, try it like that. And yeah, sounds good. Double 1-drops. Some stuff that's good in this matchup. Transgress, Doom Dissenter. Happy with this. And let's just swamp and let's lead on Dread Wanderer. Upside of this is if we draw another Crypt Breaker, we could play and draw a card if we wanted to. Seems like Dread Wanderer is a great card in this matchup anyway. Swamp. Let's get in with Dread Wanderer. And let's just Transgress. Fumigate, Anguished Unmaking, Filigree Familiar. Well, we'll take Anguished Unmaking. Pass the turn. We get Fumigate with the next one. And Filigree Familiar, whatever. Gains our opponent 2 life. So play the Swamp, play Crypt Breaker, play Relentless Dead. And we're just going to pass so we can draw a card here. Hopefully be able to start leaving up Relentless Dead mana. And draw another land. Opponent makes a land drop. And passes. Well, yeah, let's draw. With our 1-mana Planeswalker, Crypt Breaker. Plague Belcher. Land? Dread Wanderer. Alright, this means we need to Transgress to get rid of Fumigate. Ooh, Sky Sovereign Fumigate. Huh. Sky Sovereign might be worse than Fumigate for us. I think we actually have to, yeah, take Sky Sovereign and just draw a card. There's a Swamp. And pass the turn. Now I don't even think our opponent can Fumigate this turn, because if they Fumigate, they don't actually do really anything. We get Relentless Dead back to our hand, get Crypt Breaker back, so I think they have to wait until they can leave up Scarab Feast next turn, most likely. Opponent gets in. I mean, I hope they Fumigate here. That would be the best way to deal with this Fumigate. Opponent passes. We draw Swamp. Well, play the Swamp. Play Doom Dissenter. Attack with everything. So I'm pretty sure our opponent's just going to Fumigate Scarab's Feast this turn. Unless they do something else. Alright, opponent untaps. That's got to be their line here. So we get a 2/2 from Doom Dissenter, which is good. And then we have a couple of things in hand to rebuild with. So opponent gets in. We take it. Not going to block here since we know Fumigate's coming. Oh, opponent has Gonti. Alright. Interesting. I'm surprised our opponent did not go with the Fumigate plan. Seems like playing out your creatures is probably worse. Because now Gonti's going to die to the Fumigate. Now what? Well, let's just Midnight Oil. And pass the turn. Opponent has Cast Out. Gotta be going under Midnight Oil. Yep. Still not Wrathing. Goes attacking. Well, block there. Draw a card. And then we just get back our Relentless Dead. Yep. Opponent has an Ether Hub. Well, let's Swamp. Replay our Relentless Dead. We know the Fumigate's coming. Let's just pass. Is this Fumigate finally? There's a Fumigate. Alright, so we draw a card. Another land. Lose everything. And I assume our opponent's just got a Scarab's Feast here. I'd be so surprised if they didn't. Because this just like undoes their Fumigate. Good news is we got a pretty decent handful of cards to rebuild after this Wrath. Definitely one of the upsides of playing this zombie deck is that it is more resilient than a lot of aggro decks. Opponent's gotta use it. Alright, there's the Scarab's Feast. We lost our stuff, but it actually makes me happy that we have that back in Standard. So, yep, can't get anything back. What did they didn't exile Dreadwander? Huh. Seems like that would be better than our Doom Dissenter. Ooh, Crypt Breaker's sweet. Well, let's get in with our zombie. Play Dreadwander. Play Crypt Breaker. Play a Swamp. Plague Belcher. Yeah, we'll just kill a Dreadwander. Pass the turn. We can get those back anyway. Hopefully our opponent does not have another Scarab Feast. Or another Wrath. Ooh, Liliana Mastery? Oh, that's from our deck. Okay. I was going to say, that's odd. That's the Gonti card. Fatal Pushes, our Crypt Breaker. Okay. Oh, we get our own Mastery. Let's just do that. Liliana Mastery. Do some beatdowns. Man, this card is so good. Kind of just crushing this control deck because we're so resilient. Double blocks a Plague Belcher? Okay. That's fine. We still have a lot of power on the battlefield, and we're going to be getting back Dreadwanders as 3/2s pretty quick here. There's Filigree Familiar. Keeping our opponent alive-ish. Well, let's just kill Filigree. Opponent gains life. We get to go attacking. Play a Swamp. And start getting back Dreadwanders. Lethal on board again, opponent. What do you got? What do you got? Shambling Vent. Oh, do they've got Fumigate? They do. Alright, they found another Fumigate in a nick of time. We draw a Swamp. We'll play the Swamp. Get back Dreadwander. Man, these Dreadwanders are so good in the late game. It's kind of Gravecrawler-esque. Like, our opponent keeps wrathing us, and we just keep getting back Dreadwanders. Opponent's got another Gonti. Gets to steal another one of our cards. And another Filigree Familiar. Yep. Man, opponent's putting up a fight. Mastery is super good. That's probably the best thing we could have drawn. Tag with both. Opponent blocks. Sure. Blocks. I mean, even if they block and kill it, it doesn't matter. We just get it back. So, yeah, I guess we just pass. Feeling like we're getting there. Another Shambling Vent. We even have a Planeswalker removal spell left over in hand. There's a Sorin. So good thing we have a Planeswalker removal spell left. Yep. Kills one of our tokens. And Doom to center. From our deck. Opponent passes. We draw a swamp. Yeah, let's send everything at our opponent. Blocks and blocks. And now we better never the Sorin. And I guess we'll just exile Gonti. I don't think it really matters. Mostly just to get another 4/4. And pass the turn. We want to make sure our opponent can't just get in free life gain with Shambling Vent. That's the main reason we wanted to make a blocker there. Well, this deck seems to be pretty good against grindy decks. Opponents had a reasonable draw. 1,000,000 Filigree Familiars, bunch of Gontis, removal for our card advantage engines, a ton of Fumigates. Is this another one? Oh my goodness. Is that the last one? Opponent draws another Fumigate and gets to get in with Vents. Thankfully, we get back all of our Dread Wanderers. Well, that was pretty good for our opponent. Transgress, not great. Well, get back a Dread Wanderer. Oh, play a land. Get back a Dread Wanderer. Get back a Dread Wanderer. And then get rid of another Gonti. Just in case they have, like, Liliana Reanimation, I think Gonti's the best one to hit. Jeez, timely Fumigate for our opponent. And a Fatal Push off the top. Oh, boy. Opponent gets to get in with the Vents. Jeez, those were two very good draws in a row. Let's see if we can draw something. We've drawn 1,000,000 lands. Nope. Well, play the land, pass the turn. Land number 11. Opponent passes. Land number 12. Pass the turn. Authority of the Consuls. I do like Crypt Breaker. Unfortunately, it enters the battlefield tapped, which is not ideal. We might as well Transgress. It's not going to do anything. Opponent has the Plains in hand. Pass the turn. Oh boy. What do you got, opponent? Thraben Inspector. Alright, that gives our opponent a redraw. Redraws. And passes. Well, play a Plague Belcher. Counters on the Dread Wanderer. Pass the turn. The problem is we're getting to the point where Sorin could kill us. Another Thraben Inspector. Cracks it. Opponent passes. Well, draw a card. Lord is good. And Relentless dead. Well, play Lord of the Accursed. Play Relentless dead. How do we lose here? Declaration in Stone kills a bunch of our stuff. Declaration Stone on Dread Wanderer. Going into one blocker. Alright, no attacks. Let's pass. Too much risk to attack there. What do you got, opponent? What do you got? What do you got? Obnixilis. Okay. Going to destroy our Lord of the Accursed. Okay. Opponent loses a life. They drew something else? Cycle Scarab's Feast. Opponent passes. Well, draw a card. Land. Doom to center. Well, let's kill Obnixilis. Alright, opponent cashes in Inspectors. Maybe they drew the fourth Fumigate. Oh, that would be bad. Play Doom to center. And pass the turn. Are we dead to Fumigate? Not quite. Obnixilis takes up another Gonti. Oh, man. Are we actually going to lose this? Those two draws in a row were clutch. Opponent gets a Relentless dead. Well, discard a land, make a zombie. Draw a card. Another land. Dread Wanderer. Alright, we gotta kill Obnixilis. Alright, Obnixilis down. Play the land. We are dead to a Fumigate. Discard Dread Wanderer. Get back Dread Wanderer. Pass the turn. Opponent Passes. Keep drawing cards. Removal spell would be good. Another land. And a Crypt Breaker. Well, do some big attacks. There's a Shambling Vet. Man, this game ended up going way longer than I thought. I thought we had it, I don't know, 10 turns ago. Another Shambling Vet. Opponent blocks. Blocks. Okay. Blocks. And blocks. Unblocks. Unblocks. Alright. Opponent drops to 14. Drops to 13. So we play Crypt Breaker. Get back a Dread Wanderer. Pass the turn. Tap land for our opponent. Do we have it? Do we finally get there? Opponent, no attacks. Well, discard the swamp. I don't know why we're tapping. Let's draw a card. Down to 1. 1's not really any different than 2. Removal spell's sweet. No gut shot to worry about in standard. Ooh, Mastery. All right. Liliana's Mastery. Pumps the crew. Opponent goes back to 18. Never on Relentless Dead. And we got the GGs. Whoo, my goodness. What a game. Well, our deck has the power to fight through a ton of Fumigates and removal. They just keep coming back. Dread Wanderer, Relentless Dead. Opponent said that they think Liliana's Mastery made the deck a lot harder to beat than other zombie decks they had played against. Opponent gives us back our Relentless Dead. Well, I mean, I think we just attack with everything. And that does it. Zombies, zombies, zombies. Sweet. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, take a second and click that like button down below. It's a great way to help support the channel for free. And you can find the next video in the playlist right here.